Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet. Today, I'm going to bring you a topic that everybody should be worried about because it's an epidemic. And I hate to use that word because in America, we're filled with epidemics. We're fighting the war on fat today. Okay, so we're talking about obesity, and in particular, morbid obesity. Now, first of all, I do not want you feeding into these numbers because people think that just because they're overweight and because they're classified as morbidly obese, that something is magically wrong with them. You need to go to the hospital right away because the CDC and the FDA have labeled it a disease. To be overweight, something that comes from only 3% of the time a health problem. 97% of obesity is attributed to overeating. So, and it's something that we do in society as a norm. So don't feel bad if you do it, okay? But we are here to give you some tips to try to get you on the road to recovery if you want to go that way. I know we have some BBWs out there who say, I'm big, I'm bad, and I love myself. And truly, that's the way that you should feel, no matter what. No matter what you have been dealt in life with your physical characteristics, with your mental characteristics, whatever you got, you've been blessed with, work with it and make it work, okay? I have to give it up to the BBWs for that because they just put it out there, I'm big and I'm beautiful, and if you don't like me, fuck off. But let's get to the point here. The actual point of this is to help you lose weight and tell you why some things are working. Now, I'm going to throw some statistics at you right from the beginning just so we don't get off track here. 20% of your weight loss, no matter how hard you do it, no matter how much, let me not do it all the way. If you do something like P90X, insanity, you will burn over the statistic I'm about to give you. But for the most part, if you're just working out, going to the gym, waiting on machines, doing a little home exercise routine in your house on a DVD, something like that, then this does apply to you, okay? 20% of weight loss, only 20% is attributed to exercise. Did you know that you can get much better results in weight loss if that's what you want to do? You want to lose fat off your frame, okay? The much better method for weight loss, and you can lose 40% of your body weight, your fat, I'll say, not your body weight, your fat, by eating correctly? All right, you guys might not have been expecting that, but 20% from exercise, 40% from eating right. Let me give you another one. The other 40% of it, wait a minute, this one might have slipped me. Let me see here. Yes, the other 40% is by what happens after you eat and after you exercise, and it's called your metabolism. 40% of your weight loss will be attributed to your metabolism, meaning the times that you are not eating right and the times that you are not exercising, which only could account for a maximum of 10% of your day. The other 90% is attributed to your metabolism. So 40% of weight loss is metabolism. Okay, so I know I'm throwing a bunch of numbers at you. Forget about all that. I'm just saying that exercise is not the most effective and efficient way to lose weight. Let's go on to the next point here. Okay, I got some statistics here that may blow your mind, but you might have heard this before. If you watch the news, ABC, NBC, CNN, that kind of stuff, you might have known these statistics. Now I'm gonna just throw them at you. Here they are. Okay, 34% of adults are overweight, 35% of adults are obese, and 6% of adults are morbidly obese, and the numbers are only going up. Take a look at our diet here. The Western Standard Diet is consisting of a burger, fries, and a nice tall sugary cylinder of liquid we call a soda. Okay, so if you want to lose weight right away, best thing to do, just cut those things out. Nobody said you had to go jump on a treadmill and run until your heart gave out. Didn't say that. All right, all I said was you need to get eating foods that are going to be conducive to you losing weight. Now, let's go to one of the things, and I'm going to attribute this because this is not really your fault, okay? I'm going to give you this. In society, back in the 1950s, That's when they, in the 60s is when they start introducing poisons into your food to try to keep the food longer so people would stop losing, the companies would stop losing money, the food companies. And what it is they put preservatives in there, and preservatives are not good for the human body, all right? They're nothing but drugs. They're there to keep a product longer on the shelf, but it's not there to keep you alive longer. You have to make that decision, okay? And we'll get back to that at the end. But what I want to say is it's not entirely your fault, because these things are being added into your food a lot of times without your knowledge, and sometimes in society people get these notions that the food companies have your best interest at heart when they are making these decisions. I'm afraid the decisions are made by the green man, and that's George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, the people who are the faces on your money. Okay, they make the decisions ultimately in the United States, and everything is kind of bending towards that money and that capitalism. But I have to say, all people who are rich and have money are not out to do dastardly things to the human condition on this earth. However, a lot of them are. And I don't think they're out to purposely kill you, maim you, do things to you, but inadvertently in their greed and their lust for the dollar, it's ultimately hurting your health. So that's one thing I will give the American public. Sometimes you don't know what they're putting in your food. Okay, but the next point here is I want to make is called the insulin problem. Okay, now you might have noticed that when a person got fat back in the 1950s and earlier, they had fat that fell, that hung, and those rolls, when they hung, they hung pretty flabbily, all right, so around the waist area. But nowadays you see these men and women walking around, and these men look like they're 14 months pregnant, and the belly is big and it's solid, and there's nothing that we can do to kind of get that swelling and things down like that. So I fear for the American public, because this is the problem. You're going to get obese and you're going to get desperate to lose this weight one day, because your quality of life goes down considerably when you are morbidly obese, okay? And I'm just using those words because those are the words that you are used to hearing. Now, when you have all this weight on you, you may go see a doctor. A doctor is not going to say, go home, eat right, and exercise, all right? We don't do that anymore. We are a drug disease management facility now. All right, that means that anytime you go into a hospital for any condition, they are going to give you a pill for it. All right, so one of the things that they have out on the market right now is something called metformin, and that's supposed to be for lowering blood sugar and things like that. Well, all the preservatives and poisons that you put into your body, they are going to be kind of prohibited. Some of these pills that you take, they prohibit your body from taking in fat, leaving the fat in your blood, thus causing another problem where your blood becomes sticky, okay, called hyperlipidemia. All right, but when you talk about things like that, people tend to want to believe their doctor simply because he's wearing a white coat. And I have to tell you this, people, doctors are not nutritionists, doctors are not pharmacists. Therefore, when they tell you a piece of information, you have to take it for what it's worth. Or do they really know what they're talking about, and and have my best interests in mind when they're doing this? But when I take a pill to lower the sugar in my blood, guess what? If you take sugar down and you leave insulin levels high, that gap in between equals death. Did you know that your percentage goes up dramatically when you start taking these pills to die early? And I mean very early. There are people who are 35, 40, 50, 60, and 70 years old is young, because a human being is technically supposed to easily live to 120 years old. But with the Western diet, that's being cut short, and the medical profession is cutting it even shorter. Okay, let's get to the next thing here that I got written down. Obesity, okay? They now call it a disease, okay? And because it's a disease, now the drug companies can make a patentable drug to help cure the disease. But that means that if a doctor now prescribes you a nutritional diet in order to cure your diabetes, he can lose his license, be fired, and have his license revoked simply by giving you something that's non-invasive, but because it doesn't make money, which they're trying to force the doctors to make money. If it doesn't make money, they don't want you giving it to the patient. They want you sick for the rest of your life so they can sell you medication. And that's the racket. Okay, but let's not dwell on it. We're going to do positive things here. Now, if you guys would really want to know what the inside of the industry looks like, there is a movie, and it's not a documentary. It's a real movie, but it might as well be a documentary because they did a hell of a excellent job putting this movie together and showing you the smoking, food, and drug companies and what they are doing to actually get these things into society, how ruthless they are, and shoving them down your throat and using the doctors as a network to do so. In the movie, I want you to pay attention. If you get to watch it, it's called Thank You for Smoking. If you get a chance to watch it, the heroine of the movie, I can't remember the guy's name, but he played Harvey Dent in Batman. When you see this movie, you'll see that the man is ruthless about smoking. He's ruthless about getting people smoking. He'll do anything to get people smoking for the profit of the company until his son starts smoking. And when he starts seeing the effects of what it can do and seeing how his son listens to him and hangs on his every word and started behaving just like him, he didn't like it. And that's what we have today. Maybe if doctors started giving this stuff to their own kids, in which they are not, and they saw the effects, they saw how their character is just like mom and dad's character when they are harming the American public, then maybe it would change their mind. Now that we have those things out of the way, let's teach you how to lose some weight. Now, I got to point out a few problems before we actually tell you how to lose weight, because losing weight is not simple anymore. It used to be eat right and exercise, and that still works today, but it works really minimally because you are fighting things that your body won't let you do. This is what I mean, okay? Your lipocytes, or fat cells, become poison lockers, and those poison lockers are going to hold in the poisons, all those additives, all those preservatives, all those negligible, useless things that they put in food just to sell a drug to the food company so they can pass off the cost to you in the food. It's actually quite brilliant the way that they have created this racket inside of the food industry for you. But your fat cells are actually poison lockers, and the reason your body puts them there is they're the furthest thing away from healthy tissue in your body. You can't get any further away than the surface of your body. So what do? Your body sticks these poisons, these additives, these preservatives into the fat cell. And why do they do that? Because fat cells have water in them, which will dilute the poisons, and fat cells are infinite in the size that they can grow. When you get big and you start getting chunky and fat and obese, you're not growing new fat cells. They just expand infinitely, and they can go on more infinitely. Have you ever heard the story of the 1,200-pound man? Had to cut the side off of his house to get him out of there. Okay, so your fat cells keep on growing, but that's the reason your body uses it, because it can keep putting water in there to dilute the poisons, and it can keep pushing the poisons further and further away from your body to keep you safe. Okay, so what are we going to do about that particular thing to help you get these poisons released so that you can burn that fat? Because once that poison is inside your fat cells, your body won't let you burn it. No matter what you do, no matter how many times you go to the gym, no matter how healthy you eat, if you don't get those poisons out of your fat cells, you will remain heavy and you will retain that fat, and you will wonder, why am I doing all this working out? I've been working out for 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, even a year, and I have not lost one single damn pound. Why the hell am I doing it? You want to better yourself, but you don't know why you're keeping on the weight. And I'm telling you now, it's because the preservatives are stuck in your fat cells, surrounded by cell walls that won't let your body release that fat. That's the honest truth. But I'm going to tell you how to get it out of there. Okay, so just bear with me for just a second. Okay, next thing we got to do, we have to restore the nitric acid that is secreted by your arterial walls. You see, in your arterial walls, you have something called nitric acid. Nitric acid, or oxide, nitric oxide is actually a chemical secreted by the inside walls that keeps everything flowing and loose. It's why your blood cells don't stick to each other. That's why everything flows nice and loosely, and it has to, because you have things called capillaries, which are super small blood vessels that these things have to attach to. But But when your nitric oxide wears down, you will see that when it goes down, your nitric oxide actually causes, the lack of, I should say, causes your blood cells to clump together. So now you have masses of blood cells moving through your system, and now they can get easily stuck. If it happens in your brain, we call that a CVA, a cerebrovascular accident, a stroke. Or if it happens in your heart, we call that MI, myocardial infarction, or a heart attack. Some call it cardiac arrest, but that could be a lot of things. So now that we got that out of the way, you need to know some of the things that are causing you harm, so that when you have these internal problems, when you see the fat on the outside, which is the external problem, I'm telling you how to fix both of them. You fix the internal by taking care of yourself and eating right, and I'm going to introduce something in just a second, but you also take care of the outside by eating right and exercising. Okay, so inside and out. Don't take care of one without the other, because nowadays it does not work. Okay, now the next thing we got on here is a cleanse. Okay, I know some of you are thinking that I've tried cleansing before and it doesn't work for me. It worked for a minute and then it doesn't. Well, you probably did something that they call a colonic, and that's kind of a fad that's going around nowadays. So when you do a colonic is actually something that's going to clean out your digestive system, in particular your lower digestive tract. That's it, okay? You need internal cleansing, not just the colonic, because that's just one of 3 things that you need to hit in a real cleanse. So, okay, number 1, you're gonna have to clean out the colon. Number 2, you're gonna have to clean out the liver. Number 3, you're gonna have to clean out the tissues. All of that needs to be done because your liver is the biggest fighter of poisons that you have. If you don't ever clean your liver by use of a coffee enema, which blows up the liver and allows it to release all those toxins that you've had in your body for 5 years, 10 years, sometimes back to as far as even when you were born. Okay, so it holds on to everything. Occasionally, you want to release that, thus the coffee enema. And when I say coffee enema, I want to put this word in front of that so that you guys get it. Organic coffee enema. You can't go down to the local grocery store and buy Folgers, heat it up, let it cool down, and stick it up your butt. All right? The best part of waking up is Folgers in your butt. I know. It sounds good, all right? But you have to do organic coffee with air roasted beans so that you get the full coffee bean. Can't be ground. You have to grind it yourself. And I have a video right on this website that shows you how to do a coffee enema. It's named just that, all right? So when you do the coffee enema, I have all the details in there. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but you need to cleanse your liver and do it well. Now, if you're not into the coffee enema and you can't do that, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go out and I want you to buy a cleanse called the Gaia Supreme Cleanse, okay? Gaia, the Gaia Supreme Cleanse. Now, that cleanse, I use that one because it's the most gentle on your system. It won't interrupt your day, so it's not a laxative that's going to require you to stay around the toilet, if you know what I mean. All right, but it is gentle. You can go on about your day, you can go shopping, and it will come out with your normal bowel movement and not force anything out throughout the day. So it's very gentle, no abdominal pains like I found with some of the others. I won't name them, but abdominal pains, sometimes it makes you feel nauseous when you do these things and take the pills. Some of them are not as natural as they should be. This is the one out of about 6 or 7 that I've tried that works. So I will endorse it. I have the link here if you're on my website. I got the link right here of how to get the cleanse, but that's if you want to do the Gaia cleanse. It's a 2-week cleanse, but done, and it will basically clean out, flush out your entire body tissue, your entire liver, all right? It does have the liver cleanse, and it will flush out your colon. So everything in one particular kit, all right? One particular kit. I said one. All right, so let's get to the next point here. All right, now, most people think that they are getting fat because they're eating fat. Technically, you want to eat fat, and you can eat all the fat that you want. I advocate that you take in a little bit of butter because you need natural fat. The less fat you eat, the more fat that your body holds on to because you're starving it for that. This is the way your brain works. If you give it something, your brain will say, oh, we're taking that in through the mouth, so there is no need for me to manufacture or try to hold on to this fat that we have in the body because we've got plenty of fat coming into the system already, so let's dump this. It's old anyway. And that's what your body wants to do. It's always looking for new, better to keep the body at optimum. Okay? So when you eat your meals, all right? A little fat, all right? Avoid the oils, though, all right? The only oil I advocate is either coconut oil or olive oil. That's it. Coconut oil, olive oil. That's it. Canola oil, the flaxseed oil, whatever. Forget all the oils, all right? They're high in a bad kind of fat that we do not want, so leave them alone, all right? I want to keep this simple, all right? Leave the bad fats alone. But butter, pure butter, all right? Not country crock spread, all right? Real butter. I want you eating some real butter because that will help you shed the fat, okay? You do need to eat some fat every once in a while, all right? So I'm not saying go out and get a 16-ounce steak and take it down. No, I'm saying you could get a 6-ounce steak, though, that's a little fatty with the little fatty edges on there, and eat that, and guess what? You will start to lose weight, okay? All red meat is not bad, and if you do it every once in a while, it's quite good for your body, okay? You still have to teach your body how to fight. Remember, you can't go all pure and stuff because your cells still need to know how to fight if something bad enters your body. So you can't give up all the bad foods, all right? You need to have a piece of cheesecake every once in a while. You need to have red meat every once in a while, okay? I'm not saying go nuts on it, but it helps your body, okay? It helps your body. Now, people, if you really want to know what's getting you fat, the main word is sugar, okay? Sugar. Pasta. The code for pasta is sugar. What happens? As soon as it hits your tongue, pasta starts turning into sugar, all right? Bread. Code for sugar. As soon as it hits your tongue, the amylase turns it to sugar. When you eat sugar, boom, breaks down right on your tongue, and guess what? Sugar, pure simple sugar, is broken down and taken into your body. If you want to know why you're gaining weight so fast, you are eating sugar. And here's one of those points where I have to give concession because you, the American people, I have to blame it mostly on you because you don't know how to shop and eat for your own body. However, all the information is out there, which is why I'm doing these videos. So you don't have to go look everywhere. Just listen to what I'm telling you and it will work. I only present the truth. I present nothing else. So if you want to go your own way, go do it. Stop watching this right now and go back to your normal life. But if you want to do something with your life and you want to lose weight, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that right now. Cut out the sugar. Now, here's the part that's not America's fault. You have been tricked into eating foods that have a sugar substitute. Okay, the sugar substitute being MSG, which is a brain excitotoxin, which makes you want more, and you've been fed high fructose corn syrup in everything, going from breakfast cereal all the way down to salad. Now, how the fuck they got high fructose corn syrup into a salad is beyond me, but it's in there. Okay. Look up Consumer Reports or Men's Health or something like that. You'll find it on the internet. Salads have high fructose corn syrup in it. Now, when we talk about sugars and sugar derivatives and stuff like that, you need to stay away from the sugars, okay? The sugars are what make you fat. They will pack on pounds. Now, when we ate sugar back in the day, it was minimally processed or it wasn't processed at all. That means that your body could burn it, get rid of it, and you had no problems. You didn't gain weight like you did today. Now, if you eat sugar, I will tell you how bad it is. To gain, let's just use 10 pounds. To gain 10 pounds in the 1950s, you would have had to work or eat as much as you could for a month and a half, maybe 2 months, to gain 10 pounds. Nowadays, with all the additives, preservatives, and extra sugar substitutes inside the food, you can gain 10 pounds in a weekend. I am trying to save your life. Please, 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 if you want to lose weight, all you have to do is this stuff and you will, okay? Let's get on to the next point about sugar, okay? I want to talk about this word that America has gotten very used to. It's called sugar-free. And people think, oh, This is the real cake over here at the buffet. But over here, this is sugar-free. So I'll take 3 of those, please. It doesn't mean it doesn't have sugar in it. It just means it has high fructose corn syrup, which is sugar substitute, aspartame, which is a cancer-causing agent, highly cancer-causing, and they have many other Splenda, Nutra, whatever that they'll put in there. But all these artificial sweeteners, they will kill you faster than regular processed sugar. All right, if you want to eat sugar or add sugar to something, it should be pure organic sugar or cane sugar that came from Hawaii or a pure source. Okay, real sugar is brown, people. All right, pure cane sugar is brown. They bleach sugar to make it white so it looks more appealing to you on the shelf. All right, get fucking natural for once in your life. Real sugar is brown in color. All right, so sugar in the raw, it's brown. Organic sugar, it's brown. Turbinado sugar with nothing else in it is brown. So natural stuff that comes is brown. Flour, when it first comes off and is broken down, is brown. They bleach the hell out of it to turn it a color that is appealing to an American on a shelf. That's not good for your body, it's good for your eyeballs. Okay? So, when you do this, take heed and listen to what people are trying to sell you. People are giving you all the hints in the world. Don't buy this shit. Okay? Go buy something else that's good for you, but because you're an American and because you have TV commercials just bombarding your brain every second of the day, you can't think for yourself because there are so many commercials in between the television shows that you want to watch. You can't even think for yourself. You're just happy that when you get home from work and your boss is finished telling you what to do, you can sit down and relax at home, but you can't do that because now the TV is telling you what to buy. So every minute of the day, you're having somebody feed something into your head that you don't want to believe. And guess what? Your subconscious will take anything that you feed into it, positive or negative. If you believe it or not, if you do it enough times, it will go into your subconscious and that routine will run your life. It's the reason that you are watching stuff that you don't want to watch. It's the reason that you're buying a house that's too expensive. It's the reason you're buying clothes when you already have a closet full of them. It's the reason that you're eating foods that are not good for you. I am here to try to help you all right? And it really kind of upsets me that America doesn't get pissed off themselves. Okay, so let's go to the last point here, and I want to teach you some of the things to look for on the back of packages when you guys go out shopping and looking for your food. First off, let me give you one guideline. If the food has more than 4 ingredients, don't buy it. It really should be less than that, but if it has more than 4 ingredients, do not put it in your damn buggy. Sliced meat that comes from the supermarket that they have in a little plastic container, it's meat. All it should say on the package is ham. But no, does it? No, it says ham substitute, ham reconstitute, in addition to MSG, carrageenan, BTH, BTHA, BHA. It's got all kinds of chemicals in it that are supposed to keep it a preservative so they can keep it on the shelf, because meat is supposed to go bad in 3 days. Guess what? They can keep it on the shelf for 14 days, sometimes even 28 days, all right? Almost a month. They could keep the meat on the shelf and then you'll buy it and eat it like an idiot, all right? Now, I'm not saying this to be mean to you. I'm saying this because I'm pissed, because I know the truth. I know some of you know the truth, but because your kids want it, because your husband is used to eating these things, you're just like, oh, well, this is what he likes. Well, you're not going to like it when they're in the hospital. You're not going to like it when they develop asthma, when they have high blood pressure, when they have high blood sugar. You're not going to like those conditions. So I'm here to kind of get in your ass a little bit and tell you it's not good for you. Okay? So let's go all the way back and wrap this up. Okay? If you want to lose weight, stop eating sugar. If you want to get rid of the weight that you've been trying to work off for a long time and it won't come off, you need to do a cleanse. Now, I'm not saying that Gaia is the only way to do a cleanse. You can do a cleanse or fresh fruits and vegetables with an emphasis on leafy green vegetables. Kale, chard, collard greens, rainbow chard, all that good stuff, all right? It's all there. Parsley, cilantro, go nuts, okay? Those are natural body cleaners. You can do those instead of the Gaia cleanse. But I'm here to tell you, if you listen to all these people on the internet and they tell you all these different ways to lose weight, the paleo diet, the South Beach diet, the Atkins diet, if you keep looking at and trying to do a diet, just realize if the word ends in diet, you are not going to stick with it. I'm just trying to teach you certain things to cut or get rid of out of your normal diet, and when you notice all right, you'll lose. All right, and I just said normal diet. Your normal way of eating. Let's put it that way. Your normal way of eating. All right, so I am done going off on you for today. All right, I know I might have been a little mean, but so what? You need it. Okay, this is what it's going to take for you to lose weight, then this is what I'm willing to do to make you do it. So I'll talk to you later. Hopefully you follow these guidelines and you found them helpful. I am Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet, and remember, eat the right things. Take care of yourself. The longer you're around, the better you can educate your kids and teach them how to do the right things. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.